Thanks for coming. What is your full name?
My full name is Michael Blake.
Michelle Blake,
Where are you from?
Huntington Woods.
I live in Huntington Woods.
How old were you in 2007?
36.
And I was 56.
What do you recall about your financial life before the Great Recession?
Well, the Great Recession started in 2007. I think that from my perspective, our financial situation was pretty good. We'd moved to Michigan back in 2003, and I had held the same job since 2003.
Do you have anything to add?
No.
Had you experienced economic hardship prior to 2007?
At just the change of job with the move to Michigan, and that was a little bit difficult, but not
Can you,
much before then.
Like, elaborate why that happened?
Well, before that, in 2003, we changed jobs and we moved from Colorado to Michigan, and that was kind of a hardship because it was expensive and to move, and we moved to another area which the housing was more expensive.
How did you discover that our nation was facing a severe economic situation?
Well, I noticed that there was a lot of layoffs happening and a lot of homes were being foreclosed around the neighborhood, and it was, I knew a lot of people that were leaving to go work somewhere else and in another state.
Also, as you went up and down Woodward, you would slowly see certain businesses start shutting down. They would be there for a little bit, and all of a sudden they would be closed, and that was sad.
And to elaborate on that, what were like some of your first feelings, emotions after learning about the severity of the economy?
Well, I thought when we first moved to Berkeley, I thought we would be able to, since it was more expensive that we came from Colorado to there, I thought we could, buy the house and eventually move. But then I realized that we were kind of owing more than the house was worth at the time because of the recession. So we ended up having to stay longer in that house, and we couldn't move to a little bit bigger house that we wanted.
What financial hardships did you experience during this economic situation, such as loss of job, loss of home, loss of savings, or reduction of income or hours of work?
Me personally, I didn't lose any income. It stayed the same. Definitely raises were not available, and so I never saw a raise. I got a yearly raise or things like that. Of course, other people were losing their jobs, so I considered myself fortunate at that time that I still had a job and still had a house.
Yeah, I remember the one time you had to take a pay cut just to be able to keep the job, and it was a pretty big pay cut, so that was kind of a hardship because we had budgeted for a certain amount, for income, and then that went down by it was 5%, and that's a lot, when you're not getting raises through the years. So.
What did you think of President Barack Obama and the Congress's reaction to the Great Recession?
I think the president, he tried to, bail out the auto companies, and then with the, the new mortgage plans where people could refinance, they wouldn't lose their home, which was helpful, so people wouldn't be homeless, and they would, be able to stay where they're living with their families. And I feel like he was real responsible during that time.
Do you have anything to add?
No, good answer.
What do you believe is our nation's greatest economic concern, and why?
Well, from my perspective, I believe that since that time, I believe I've seen the shrinking of the middle class. And so all the people that have been laid off during that time frame, it's been very hard for them to work themselves back up again. They used to be middle class, they were laid off, and it's just been very hard for them to raise them up to middle class again. Yet on the other hand, we just see the rich getting richer. So the middle class, I believe, as a whole has shrunk.
I also believe that the price of college has been going up like just unbelievable for the past 2 decades, and now it's becoming just really difficult for young people to afford it, and they're just starting out in debt, which is going to add to another recession when they can't pay the student loans back because they can't get a job that don't pay enough money. So that's a big problem, I think, right now.
What lessons should be learned from the Great Recession?
One of the main things that I remember from that time is how a lot of the people got loans for houses that were overvalued, and the loans were too big for what they could afford. And I think now with the more strict guidelines for mortgages, that's going to be helpful. So I think that lesson was learned by that. I don't know.
I think that's the biggest lesson, absolutely, is the regulations on the banks so that they just don't make, the appraisal is the correct appraisal, and not just people going out and throwing a price on a house just to get a loan.
Alright, well thank you for coming and sharing your experiences.
You're welcome.
Thank you.